Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine akasa. Na wama two options. And answer what just say Ofori Atta two options. It's either say obey self-deportation. And answer obey facing deportation from immigration judge ahead of tomorrow, the appearance in court. Now, Dominic Ayine the exact data Ken Ofori Atta is likely to be deported into Ghana. Or just say Ken Ofori Atta eba Oman Ghana, either self-deportation and by deportation by the immigration judge. He, Attorney General, is committed in making sure say Obama due process any Ken Ofori Atta adi na omo no political witch hunting and I say omo ntitia ne fa ahodie so. Na Ken Ofori Atta is physically needed in Ghana to account for ne stewardship. Say who hold the public position you owe the people of Ghana and I say you owe the state accountability. Now, Attorney General said there are other investigation cases which is linked to Ken Ofori Atta. Any charges here the abono nkuana and sema pese obeyiano. Now there are other charges or no Attorney General nhwehwemu at the appropriate time or the ehonsem ebeba betuja. Or to anesem no okasa efa chaos in parliament. Ekwanya the minority side led by Alexander Kwamena Afenyo Marken. Elidi nedom. Emma sometimes omokoso chaos parliament. Attorney General he feels like a fish which is out of water. Parliament should be a place of decency and decorum. The Ghanaians are not rowdy people, and hence, route any offense on chaos should not cause and as I should not happen in Parliament. Now the Parliament should reflect the conduct of Ghanaians. And some way, and some who will be an Attorney General the two Abra na the exact data Ken Ofori Atta is likely to be deported in Ghana. A higher citizen voice. Subscribe to the channel, bell the notification, na share ma afofro and can be comment section now they were venture aba. Yete AG Dr. Dominic Ayine.
So he was at the heart of it. All right, all the payments to the, for instance, the architect, okay, were made by Ken Ofori Atta.
Is that on record? What yes. Authorized by Ken Ofori Atta?
They were authorized by him. He was the finance minister. And who else would have paid $47 million to an architect for this work without, the finance minister clearing it? So that was, so he was at the heart of some of the things that we are investigating. All right. And I'm not pursuing him for any personal reasons. I have nothing against him or his family or the Akufo-Addo government. Okay. But we are just pursuing an agenda of exacting accountability for things that have happened in our republic.
And now he's facing 78 count of, indictment over 1.4 billion Ghana cedis loss. We talk about the SML contract.
Yeah.
You mentioned the National Cathedral project. What specific evidence links him to this? And you said it's a criminal enterprise.
All right.
And how's your office coordinating with the OSP?
Oh, we are coordinating very well. Our role in the whole of this was to help the OSP, to transmit the extradition request to the Americans, and it's working really very well.
So will he be brought to Ghana? Here and now at 5 minutes to 8. What do you know? Will he be brought? Yesterday we saw a news item.
Yes, he will be. He will be. Look, the possibility is very high. The possibility is very high. And he could either self-deport or face, deportation by the immigration judge on January 20th. Yes. So after the hearing, we will get to know what orders the judge made regarding his immigration status. But it's more serious than I have, put out. But
it's more serious.
But at the appropriate time, I don't want to announce. But
what scoop can you give? Because you owe it to Ghanaians to just give us a wind of how serious is this?
No, it's very serious. It's very serious. It's more serious than I have divulged at this point in time. At this point, it will stay at a level of my briefing the president.
How will you ensure that due process for somebody like Ken Ofori Atta, a statesman, a former finance minister, whom you've urged to come home and recuperate? Those were your words.
Yes.
How will you ensure that due process is followed? Because many feel that, you are going after, he can be tried in absentia. So why the rush?
No, but, he can be tried in absentia. All right. That is true. But it is better when he comes to, to answer. when he's here, physically present, and made to answer for whatever charges have been leveled against him by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And I also mentioned that there are other investigations that are going on. So it's not only the SML investigation, which has been conducted by the OSP, that links Ken Ofori Atta to issues of accountability or alleged acts of criminality. There are other investigations that I am undertaking, that will be announced at the appropriate time.
Still on his person?
Yes, and for transactions linked to him. So yes, Ken Ofori Atta has his right to help. However, right, he also owes it to the people of this country, having held an office of public trust, okay, to answer for his actions in that office. If he's innocent, he'll be acquitted and discharged by the courts of this country. All right. And Article 19 of the Constitution guarantees his right to a fair trial. And I have said, and I want to repeat it here, that I will not, superintend a system that will run the fair trial rights of anyone.
And you stand by this?
And I stand by it. I will not in any way imperil his right to a fair trial. If he even self-deports and come to Ghana, we'll treat him with a lot of dignity. He's a former finance minister of this republic. In fact, I used to, say that when our current finance minister was undergoing trial, okay, I used to tell, my predecessor and his people, I used to tell them that, look, you have to be careful. Treat him with the dignity that he deserves, because he was the leader.
Told former Attorney General Godfrey Dami that?
Yeah. So, I think that in the current circumstances, okay, I want to assure Ghanaians and to assure the family of Ofori Atta that when he is brought to Ghana, or when he voluntarily, comes to Ghana, he will be treated with dignity and accorded his fair trial rights, before the law, the courts of Ghana.
So Dr. Ayine, you revealed moments when you've seriously considered resigning from Parliament. Due to the disorder, sometimes table banging, cat calls, confrontations.
Yes.
What specific incidents in 2025 pushed you to that edge?
No. 2025. There were the recent one. The recent ones where the MPP side wore black, and anytime the majority leader was going to speak, they would get up and just bang tables and sing and be disruptive and so on and so forth. That was really not a very good spectacle. It doesn't speak well, of us. Of course, our side did some things like that, all right, when we were in opposition, and I condemned it. Okay, so I want Parliament to be a place of decency, a place of debate, a place of reflection of our national character. And Parliament should reflect the people that we represent. And the Ghanaian people are not rowdy, they are not disruptive, they are very polite and very deliberative when it comes to.
So such conduct gets you disturbed.
They get me disturbed, and sometimes I feel like a fish out of water.
Really? And
yes.
you felt like resigning from Parliament?
I felt like leaving, because I usually compare the classroom where I was, right, where I stood in front of my students, taught, took questions, I got queried, some of the students were asked very, very, very deep searching questions. Sometimes I had no answers, but I was very frank to sometimes tell them that I don't have the answers, but I'll find the answers for you. That's, so that level of exchange, the decorum of the classroom and so on and so forth, that is what I'm used to. So, and I watch other parliaments. Of course, there have been the Japanese parliament, sometimes they become rowdy and they start throwing chairs and so on and so forth. But those are moments when, things, get out of hand.
That's right.
Right. But for us to adopt this constant rowdy, behavior.
You believe that it's not in our place?
It's not enough.
Quickly, before we go for the break, you've called the rising order deeply unacceptable and unbecoming. What do you see as the root cause of this shift from sober debate to rowdy outbursts in Ghana's parliament.
No, I think it's just the quality of the human resource.
Oh, you think that the quality
I think the quality has
dropped?
Oh, it has dropped.
You've been there for 6
the quality has dropped.
The quality in parliament has dropped.
Go back and check when J.H. Mensah and co were there. I mean,
you are about the fourth MP saying that.
I mean, you had these statesman-like characters who, when they stood up, all of us were, in awe of them, and they represented our national pride. Whether we agreed with them in terms of our party politics was a different matter. All right, but you can expect that they did the right thing. They conducted themselves as statesmen, and that is what we should be doing.
The quality in parliament,
the quality has dropped. The quality of representation has dropped.
We'll come back. It's just some 3 minutes after 8. My name is Bolare. Ask him about the Tagore case, which he won, and tell him greetings from FOPCA. He will understand. So the Tagore case you won.
Well, that was one of the most popular cases that I was involved in.
Okay.
I mean, of course, you know the story about about Tagore.
Right.
But I must say that the credit for my winning that case goes currently to the current OSP, who was my junior in Chambers.
That is Kisi Ejabin.
Kisi Ejabin was
How's the relationship between the two? Because about 3 months ago, we had in the media
we have a fantastic relationship.
It was a storm in the teacup.
It was a storm in the teacup. Okay, but Kisi knows me. He knows that when I take a principal position, I will push it. All right. Oh. So he and I worked, on the Tagore matter.
Okay.
And he was like the principal. I mean, he was together with Prince Intifol, were 3 lawyers. I was a senior lawyer, followed by Kisi and then Prince. And they worked with me, and in fact, Kisi did most of the work.
So you credit Kisi Ejabin for doing most of the work?
he did most of the work under my supervision.
Of course.
All right. So a good senior should give his junior the credit, for the. I mean, he wrote the arguments. I reviewed them and finalized them for us to file and go to court. I led him to go to court. I mean, wow. I led them to go to court.
What did you make, of course, then, of a section of the public asking for his removal or he should be taken out? How did you take that?
Well, I don't know what the public see of his work, but Kisi is a brilliant, criminal law lawyer. All right, my former lecturer. EY Yeboah used to say, don't say that criminal lawyer, because then it means that the lawyer has a criminal record. All right, but he's one of the best criminal law lecturers you can find in this country. Yeah, wow. He has a very deep knowledge of the criminal jurisprudence of our country. But people expect a lot from the office of the special prosecutor, the same way they expect a lot from the office of the Attorney General.
That's right.
And I believe that those are some of the things that got people thinking that, look, he's not delivering and he must go.
All right.
That's a judgment a judgment call that I cannot make.
Right. Also, last Saturday, you stated on Joy News File that banking cases involved weak charges, risking criminalization of ordinary banking risk and all of that. Can you walk us through the specific evidence? You're saying that, well, this is it, and there isn't much evidence on that. What is the point, really?
No, the point is that, look, okay, let me give 2 contrasting examples.
Please do.
All right. And I think that people were more focused on the Unibank matter,
yes,
because of the popularity of the Dufours as a family.
Right.
All right. But let's take Capital Bank. All right. In the Capital Bank trial, there was evidence to the effect that whenever the Bank of Ghana gave liquidity support, all right, the former MD of Capital Bank, okay, what was
Atuasian. Right.
All right. Basically, took that money and then, appropriated it. He misappropriated, he dishonestly appropriated those funds. That was the case of the prosecution. And the prosecution led evidence to show that he actually carried some of these funds in a van, all right, to a garage in his house. They even had the geographical location of everything that transpired from when the funds were moved, all right, from the bank all the way to his his garage, all right. That is pure stealing. Okay, that is pure stealing. If liquidity support is given to a bank and the liquidity support is applied in accordance with normal banking rules, but the bank fails, eventually, you cannot criminalize the conduct of the owners of the bank or the conduct of the directors of the bank just because the liquidity support, did not help the bank to get back onto his feet.
Because they took a risk.
Yeah, they took a risk. All right, and banking is about taking risk. So, as I said, if you give loans and then the loans, this is misapplied or people default in payment of the loans, okay, you cannot then turn around and say because you got liquidity support from the Bank of Ghana, we are prosecuting you for causing financial loss to the state. I mean, it doesn't happen anywhere. And that was part of what was. So if people want, they should go back to the Unibank case and show me where the evidence said that the Dufours, stole money. Then there was no evidence that they stole money. All right. And then I also took a position that the banker-customer relationship is not one of trust. That's a fundamental principle of law, that the banker-customer relationship is one of contract. It's not one of trust. Okay, so you cannot say that, there is fraudulent breach of trust just because the depositors have given their money to the bank, all right, and then the bank has lent it to other persons who have not been able to pay, or even they have given it to, let's say, for instance, in the case of Unibank, if they were affiliate companies that were beneficiaries of the loans, then you say that that's beneficiaries of the funds of the bank, then you say that is a fraudulent breach of trust because they gave it to beneficiaries, or companies in which they have, ultimate beneficial interest. Okay, so that was a position that I took. Okay, that in terms of the law, those cases, presented very problematic, a problematic, situation to the Attorney General, going forward. And that is how come that I ended up, withdrawing the charges. But I did say that, look, given the situation that we are in, all right, if the directors, because the directors were also sued in a civil suit by the receiver.
Correct.
All right. So if the directors could, more or less say that, look, we can give assets that, takes care of part of the liability, why not? I will be willing to take it. Or I can say go and stand trial if you are able to extricate yourself. And I knew that eventually they were going to be acquitted because the evidence was.
There's nothing because you said on news file, and you want to stand by that. You said it doesn't make sense for you to say that because liquidity support was given, they did not apply it in the manner that you thought they ought to have applied it.
Yes.
And you also addressed that specific case, and you said that the allegations were not about theft.
Yes.
Or personal enrichment.
Yes. That is so, and I stand by that is my analysis, of the situation that was confronting the AGs as far as the Unibank case was concerned.
Right.